I hope you've had a lovely time here at the Conscious Living World Fair. My name's Carmine Caputo, and today I'm going to talk about the book Change Your Vibration. The presentation will begin with a little bit of a story about myself. We'll talk about the book, and then I'll also share a lot of the wellness techniques and things that you can integrate into your own life to improve the quality of your life or see your dreams come true. To begin, when I was 17 years old, I had a young cousin die in a car accident, which then led me to travel with depression, anxiety and fear for about 13 years. I was afraid that I'd die in my sleep. I would stay up late each night and would usually wake up extremely exhausted the next day. I separated from religion and God, and I started a long search for happiness and meaning. I joined the Army Reserves, I moved interstate 4 times, I worked for the Department of Defence doing explosives, ballistics research and some counter-terrorism work. I bought a house, a new car, a new motorbike, and even after all that still wasn't feeling fulfilled. I explored my sexual curiosity and had my first boyfriend at the age of 25 years. And my 30th birthday wish was, I want to know who I am. I had been searching for identity and meaning and purpose, and it was just something inside that just wasn't feeling quite right. My first turning point occurred after my 30th birthday when I met my first clairvoyant, and she saw my cousin who had passed away 13 years earlier, and she also saw my grandfather. And she told me that I was going to be okay, live a long life, and that I had a lot of work to do in this life. The 13 years of grief just suddenly started lifting off my shoulders, and I just cried and cried and cried because up until that point, I hadn't believed in a life after death. I had no evidence of life after death, but I'd only just met this stranger who could see my cousin and my grandfather, and it was such a healing and such a profound emotional shift for me that I do remember for the rest of my life. After that experience, I went and had a Reiki Healing, and in that Reiki Healing I was able to say the things I wish I could have said to my cousin and my grandfather while they were no longer here, to their energy and let their energy go, and to say to things like, it's at one stage we'll be reunited, but it was time for me to let go of the grief, remember to love and move forward with life. At 31 years of age, it was time for me to be honest and come out to friends and family and to really start being a bit more authentic. I hadn't come to a place of fully loving and accepting myself yet, but I was still working on it. I was still very busy. I did a documentary for a friend's charity. I shot a photo book for a pub in Melbourne, and I did a short trip to Afghanistan as part of my work with Defence. After that trip, I just came home absolutely exhausted, and I declared that I would do no more projects for a while. But I didn't know quite what I was going to do, but I thought I just needed a bit of a break. At 33 years of age, I had a health scare, which was just a couple of lumps on my thyroid, but it scared me enough to stop and ask myself some serious questions, such as, who am I? Where do I really want to be? What do I really want to be doing with my life? What am I waiting for? And what really matters now? Straight after that experience, I went to a Hey House I Can Do It conference where there was a lot of spiritual teachers talking for 2 days. And as I arrived at that conference and I looked at a table that was full of books and audio books and DVDs, something inside, like my soul, just screamed that your answers are here. They're on that table. And I went up to the gentlemen who were running the bookstore and I said, I want to buy absolutely everything that you're selling. Can you please put it in boxes? And I'm taking it home. And I did that. I'd already watched Louise Hay's DVD, You Can Heal Your Life, and I found the messages in that were helping me to become a little bit calmer and a little bit more peaceful. And at that conference, I meditated for the first time in my life. Louise was talking about affirmations. Marianne Williamson taught me that I could unlearn my fear. Marianne also spoke about right living was about eating well, exercising, working and giving love. Deepak Chopra spoke about chakras, which I'd never heard about before. Robert Holden suggested that rather than chasing happiness, I could just choose to be happy now. I'd been searching for happiness all over the place. I travelled to Paris and Rome and I still wasn't feeling happy. I was sort of numb. It didn't matter where I went, what I bought. There was just something missing. But Robert suggested that, maybe now is the time that I can just choose to be happy. Doreen Virtue spoke about angels, and she said that we always have two of them with us, and that they won't interfere with our free will, and that they can help us live a more peaceful and happy life. Doreen also mentioned that we all have an ego, like a negative voice in our head, which judges us, it confuses us, it makes us feel tired and separate and alone, which is the way I felt. But my understanding of the word ego up until that point was that if someone had a big ego, is that they were being a bit of a show-off. I never had heard anyone else talk about also having a negative voice in our head, which causes such discomfort. Denise Lynn spoke about reincarnation, and I experienced my first past life regression meditation at that event. And after the first day of that conference, my mind became settled. And the next morning, on the Sunday morning, I could hear the birds outside my bedroom window for the first time in 3 years. That's how much of a profound effect this conference had on me. And at that conference, I was also given a free ticket to Doreen Virtue's Angel Intuitive course that was going to be held in November that year, up in the north coast of Australia. So in November, I decided to take a road trip up the east coast of Australia and packed the tent in my car. I had 3 weeks to get up to Coolum in Queensland and to return home, and was just going to stay at the caravan parks and sleep near the beach somewhere. And on that road trip, I packed all the audio books that I'd bought at the conference, and I started off listening to Robert Holden's Happiness Now. I then, the first morning of the trip, I listened to the first Chakra clearing CD that I was given, and I started doing a morning meditation routine, and this was the first beach where I meditated, up in Merimbula in the New South Wales south coast. As I was travelling up the east coast, I also listened to an audio package by Marianne Williamson and Wayne Dyer called Advancing Your Spirit. And it was while listening to this audio package that Marianne said just a couple of sentences that were going to change the rest of my life. She said, there comes a point in your life where you may have an experience like a second puberty, and that when you're ready to receive, God will return to you the years the locusts have eaten. And she described the locusts as being ego thoughts. And she described that if something was waiting for you, or if something was meant for you, it's still yours, and it's waiting for you, and it's held in trust, and when you're ready to receive, you will receive it. And it's like you get a second chance. Now, I was about 33 years old, and I thought I'd blown all my chances, that I'd wasted so much money travelling and buying things. I'd tried relationships that didn't work. I wanted a second chance, but I also felt like I'd had a lot of regrets. And at the time, I thought, hold on, Marianne, you're speaking about God. I've separated from God and religion when my cousin died. I thought if there was a God, why would he let such a tragedy happen? The only spirit I knew of came in a bottle that I mixed with Coke. And I sort of knew I had a bit of a human spirit, but I couldn't feel it. I was just numb of emotions. But that night, I arrived in a town called Port Macquarie, and it was time to do an evening chakra meditation. So I walked out upon this cliff edge here, and I sat on that boulder. And Doreen Virtue, I was listening to a meditation on my iPod. Doreen Virtue guided me through a evening meditation where I started to forgive, and I forgave absolutely everybody in my life. Bullies and bastards from school, people from work who hadn't been so pleasant to me, family who may have misunderstood me or things like that. I literally just thought of every person who's ever irritated me, and I let that go. I thought, I can no longer carry this resentment with me. I didn't really understand what was happening, but I just went with the flow. Now, once I'd done that, I started feeling a little bit more relieved. and the sky was full of stars. It was such a beautiful night, and as the waves were coming in, I just felt like the waves were bringing me love. I started to be able to feel something within my heart now. After I'd done this meditation, I walked down to the caravan park where I'd parked my car, and it was about 9:30 at night, and I thought it's a bit late to be setting up the tent, so I just picked up a picnic rug and a pillow, and I walked out onto the beach, and I thought I'm just going to sleep under the stars tonight. I laid upon the beach here, I put my arms out, and I just spoke to the stars, and I said, "Dear universe, if what Marianne said was real, if I really can have a second chance at life and having a happy life, having harmonious and complementary relationships, I'm ready to receive. Right now, bring it on." And I lay there for ages because I had so much to talk about, and I just literally poured my heart out to the stars for all the regrets that I'd had, for all the things that I wish I could have received. I just spoke and spoke and spoke, and when I finished, I thanked the universe, and it felt right then that an energy wave had travelled between me and the stars, and like the stars were vibrating and twinkling to say, "Yes, we've heard you." And I fell asleep upon that beach, and in the morning I woke up with the sunrise in my eyes, with the ocean roaring in front of me, and I felt like I'd just gone through a transformation. I'd felt like I was seeing the world through the eyes of love, and I just felt an unbelievable amount of courage and love in my heart like I'd never felt before in my life. I went back to the caravan park, had some breakfast, and then walked back upon this beach to do a morning chakra meditation again. And while I was doing this meditation, I heard the sounds of dog barking and of children playing on a playground. And I thought, that's a bit weird. The beach is so huge, why would someone be walking their dog right next to my head? And why would children be playing? I still had my eyes closed. I thought, why would they be so close to me when they've got all this space? And in that meditation, it was only the third day of doing this chakra meditation. When I said I have complete power and control, I suddenly felt this strength within my body. And when I repeated the affirmations, that I am loved, that I am loved, all of a sudden it just felt like my heart had popped open, and that I was having, the only way I can describe it is like having an orgasm that did not stop. It lasted weeks and weeks and weeks. It was just this feeling of intense love, and I just started crying. It was so profound, so beautiful. It's just something that stays with me till today. And after that meditation finished, I opened my eyes and I looked to the right, and near my head there was a single child's footprint and a single dog's paw print. Now, I've been a forensic investigator, worked for defence, work on truth and facts and logic, and I felt then that some spirits had come to visit and had left some impressions in the sand, because I looked left and right and I couldn't see any tracks. And I also felt that maybe my little Carmine or a little child came back and crawled into my chest during that meditation. I stood up and just ran into the ocean and swam in the ocean. I'd been afraid of the ocean for a little while, because as a child I was dragged out on a dinghy and lost our oars, and a man on a kayak had to come and rescue us. And I'd just driven by the ocean for 3 days, and I'd looked at it, but I hadn't gone in for a swim yet. But this day was something that was just profound and beautiful. I'd never felt so euphoric. Every negative emotion I'd ever experienced was now gone from my body. I spent the rest of the day walking around town, doing some journaling, noticing other synchronicities, and then continued my trip up the east coast to Coolum. And when I arrived at Doreen's course, for 3 days I learnt about my sensitivity. I learnt about energy, how to translate energy. I learnt about energy cord cutting, I learnt about vacuuming fear and negativity out of a body and aura, how to use bubbles of light to protect your own energy, how to conduct mediumship, how to do angel card readings, all with the intention of bringing peace to your own life and bringing peace to the lives of the people around you. When I did arrive home, I was at peace with life, and my smile was now authentic. I wasn't in a rush anymore, and I felt my own inside love and could feel and see the love in everybody else. After this experience, I decided to go to Sydney and listen to Wayne Dyer talk about the art of manifesting and his new book, Wishes Fulfilled. And while I was there, and through my own experience, I've learnt that to have a new dream come true or to have your wishes fulfilled, the process would be to clear out any old energy first. And as I did, release your fears and release the resentment so that your energy body is clear. Then you tune into your heart and you write a list as if your soul is speaking to you and using your hand to write a list of all your dreams and desires and what's coming next. Your list would then become images. And from those images, you could create a vision board like this. Now, I've provided an example of my recent vision board. And if you look at the top left, there's a angel card there about manifesting, and then a little postcard that says thank you, thank you, thank you. So before I start looking at my vision board, I am raising my vibration and getting to a place where I'm just grateful for everything. Then the images will portray exercising and eating well will, manifest a healthy and fit body. The second row of images is creating your own story, ready to be published. To those who believe anything is possible, a affirmation from St. Bernard of Clairvaux. Then the books on bookshelves, travelling to New York, speaking at conferences. People like Oprah, Alan, 60 Minutes, all come to help me share this message. Why did Spirit guide me to do this? As I was doing research for the book, I realised at the World Health Organization, their website in 2013, that 350 million people in the world suffer from depression. When I was going through it, I felt isolated, I felt alone, I felt ashamed to talk about it. And I've since realised that there's a lot more people out there that could do with, a change or transition or some transformation. And that with alignment with people who would help spread the word and share the message, we would be able to bring love, peace and happiness to a lot more people. Many of the clairvoyants I've met on the Angel Intuitive courses have told me that in some years I'm going to be teaching on cruise ships, that I'm going to be writing more books, that I'm going to be travelling the world, that the abundance is coming, and I'm not doing this for the money, but my pure intention is to help people. My dream at the moment is that when I return to Australia, I'll buy a motorhome and I will travel around Australia and go to rural communities and meet people and talk to them about the principles that are within this book and help them activate their own power and change their own life and have their dreams come true and shift their energy. And to finish, another card that says thank you. So finishing with more gratitude. And if you wanted to create a vision board like this, the idea is that you take your dream for a test drive and you get into the feeling of what it would feel like when your dreams come true. And that is raising your vibration. And that will bring you into alignment or allow your dreams to come into your life so much quicker. Because you're pretending and you're using your imagination that your dreams have already come true. You're putting this vibration out there, and what you put out, you will receive. And then the last step is that every now and then you need to do some work. So as you're guided to, say, come to a conference to present your book, or to write your book, or to publish your book, you need to sit down and do the work. You need to travel to meet people. For me to teach on cruise ships, I've gone on a cruise where I've done some courses, and now I know who runs life transformation workshops on cruises. So all these synchronicities and all this data and all this information that's been coming to me recently is all preparing me for what is coming next. After I created a vision board like this, I moved into a seaside apartment. I studied Reiki. I went to a writer's workshop, and in that writer's workshop I needed to do a competitive analysis, and I ended up reading 4 books in 2 days. When I was depressed and anxious and afraid, I couldn't read any books because I would literally forget what I'd read on the previous page. My mind was so scattered I couldn't absorb any information. I could really only watch videos if I was lucky. And in reading some of those books, I got an idea from Susan Jeffers' book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, where she had a whole life relationship chart. And the idea I had was to create a balanced life chart where I've listed the 9 highest priorities or values in my life, the things that I like to do and how often I like to do those things. So I wanted to catch up with family once a week. I wanted to catch up with friends at least once a month because I could go months without catching up with friends. I wanted some alone time and rest. I'd been spending more than 12 hours a day at work because I thought work was so important, and that didn't let me have much more time for exercise and self-care. So seeing my life on a chart like this let me assign some time to the other things that would, make my life a bit more peaceful and allow myself to be happy every day. So have more fun and leisure and have some hobbies and integrate those hobbies into your life at this point in time. And this is all in the book. After creating a balanced life chart, I then created a day plan. And the day plan, it consisted with waking up and expressing gratitude, giving love every morning. So if there's someone in the house, you'd say, thank you, I love you, or get on Facebook, get on social media, and just put something out there that's inspiring and share your love with the world. Then have breakfast, shower, do a meditation, a chakra balance and a manifesting meditation. So I'd sit in front of my vision board for 5 to 15 minutes a day and just imagine those feelings of those dreams coming true. Some sort of exercise for 20 minutes a day, work that I love doing that's inspiring and of service to others for 7.5 hours, walk along the beach, have dinner, have a happy hour after dinner. So if you think about your own life, what things bring you joy and what things make your heart feel full, and is it possible that you could spend an hour a day doing those things just for yourself? And by having a generic day plan like this, I was able to incorporate, I was living my life like this. Having a happy hour, having a buffer zone, doing an evening meditation, expressing more gratitude and falling asleep in the seaside apartment. And while I was there, I had another dream that I will finish writing this book and publish it and travel around the world. I've moved on since then, but I was really living my life like this. And while I was writing a book proposal for a publisher, my boss called me from work and said, Carmine, we need to let you know that Defence is offering voluntary redundancies. If you apply for one, there's no guarantee you're going to get one, but we're just calling to let you know that you're eligible. So I applied. I was offered $70,000 to leave my job and a pension for the rest of my life to do what I love to do. I was still shitting myself making the decision, because some people were saying you're going to lose and you've got a job for life and you've got security, and I was like, my heart's telling me you need to go for satisfaction. I went and saw a work counsellor, I spoke with family, and I really just had to follow the way of my heart, and I did. And it's the best thing I ever did. After leaving work, I'd already paid to do an Angel Intuitive cruise. So I went around the South Pacific for a bit of a holiday. I did a training and assessment course on September 7, 2013. I co-hosted a Love, Fun and Freedom event with a friend of mine, which is a one-day life transformation event where we created a journal. And on that morning, I stood in the room where we were going to be hosting the event, and I was crying tears of joy because I was so happy to be there. On a Saturday morning, crying tears of joy because I was so happy to be doing what I love to do. So when you come into alignment and you work from your heart, you will feel that satisfaction and that love. And when you share your love with others, you will feel it's just a beautiful energy. So, what would you do for fun if you didn't have to go to work to earn money? And that would be your life purpose. It may be looking after your children or other people's children, or helping the homeless, or, inspiring others, empowering others. And in December 2013, I decided to take another road trip up the east coast of Australia. And as I was coming home, I asked myself, why do you do this? Why do you always head off for a week or two at a time and go camping along the beach and leave your family and friends and all that sort of stuff? And it's then when Spirit came in and said, it's peace you seek. It's peace we all seek. And right then I understood why I had done everything in my entire life, why I'd left my jobs so much, why I'd left relationships, why I'd moved house so many times. Because every time I was looking for peace, or more love, or satisfaction. I decided then that I must be honest and explain my sensitivity, and I understood my relationships, all the relationships I'd ever had with partners and with family. And with all that, I have, decided to share what had happened in my life and how it may possibly help you improve the quality of your life or live a more peaceful and happy life. And I'll start off with sharing that the first experience with the clairvoyant was enough evidence for me that we have spirits of loved ones around us. The Reiki Healing helped me release the additional grief from losing family members, and I'd encourage you to experience or try that shift in energy for yourself if you have an opportunity. The experience with past life regression at the conference led me to believe that I've been here before and that I'll come back again. I saw fear and ego now as a gift of contrast. I was able to quieten the ego by choosing love. Anytime that negative voice is being a bit of a bitch, you can just ask yourself, what would love say? And what would love do? And that is the way to quieten the ego. I was depressed because I was afraid of being authentic. Negative emotions were asking me to change something. It was asking me to love and accept myself and to stop judging myself. The chakra clearing meditations helped me release the energy blocks around my heart, and it helped me to feel my inside love and activate my own power. I was able to end the search for happiness and focus on now. It's the only moment we really have. We can manifest and plan for the future, but you really need to be integrating fun, love and happiness into every day and into this current point in time. Because you don't just want to be working for tomorrow, you want to be having fun along this journey. I integrated fun and happiness into my life by writing lists, by being more conscious about how I use my time. So, what's your fun and what's your happiness, and how often do you allow yourself to do that? I'd encourage you to ask yourself those questions. I used positive affirmations all over the house and in journals, and by choosing to express positive and loving energy, I was able to shift my energy. Positive affirmations are the truth to your soul. And when you consciously think positive thoughts, and when you say positive words and you conduct positive actions, that is when you are acting from a place of love and from soul and from your heart. And that is all about changing your vibration by consciously choosing as much as possible and practicing as much as possible. I went out in nature and I cleared all the distractions. I tuned into my heart easily. I had space to learn new theories and integrate them into my life. The Advancing Your Spirit audio package was the key to wiping my slate clean, to accepting that second chance. And if you would like a clean slate and a fresh start, I'd encourage you to clear out the old energy as I had. Be grateful for where you are, release the fears and resentment. Clear your chakras, and I teach you how to, and I provide a chakra clearing meditation and the power activation meditation in the book that you can just read. And just by reading it, it will increase your energy and clear your energy. State that you're ready to receive whatever is waiting for you. See the world through the eyes of love and let your inner child come out to play. We all have a little child within us, and we need to allow ourselves to play. Just because we've grown older doesn't mean that we, stop having fun. And be patient and believe that your dreams will come true. It takes time for habits to change. It takes time for you to practice and integrate new wellness techniques and ideas into your life. But the key is that if you come from a place from your heart, success is your only option. I also, within the book, wanted to talk about what it meant to be in alignment, and also to better explain what I meant when I used the words vibrations. And it was at that time where Spirit had come to visit me, and I'm going to read a little bit out of the book now, because this is the most profound event that I've had happen to me recently. I was thinking of my cousin Tori, who'd passed away in the car accident, and thinking that I'd have to go and visit his mum and dad and ask for their permission to use his name in the book, as I also wanted to dedicate the book to him. As I was in the kitchen, I wanted to go for a walk outside. I could feel his energy next to me, and he said to me, he goes, "Go and tell mum and dad to have fun." I've gone, oh shit, I need to explain all of this to them. I haven't seen them in a few years. They've got no idea what I've been doing and what I do at the moment. But I thought I would have to go and talk to them. And at that time, I walked outside because I thought I need some fresh air. I needed a bit of a break and just to think about things. The Spirit continued to talk to me, and it said, "This book is about changing vibrations. A human who is feeling what you call sadness, depression or fear is not in alignment with the source of creation." And they carried on to say that the positive vibration is the spirit of creation. That is the ultimate and infinite orgasm. So when you're emitting positive vibrations, that is like acting from the spirit of creation or the source of creation. They carried on to say that low energy and negative emotions are all trying to steer you into alignment to source. It's your soul's message. It's trying to bring you back home. It's bringing you back to love. What is love? Is it just a thought, a word, or a vibration? It's the closest thing we know to being home. So right then I felt that Spirit was telling me that when we leave our physical body and we go into spirit land, that place is a place of love. And our human spirit is always trying to guide us back into alignment to love with our emotions, because our human spirit wants to experience and express itself here as love on earth. I got very excited. I ran back into the house. I typed that message out onto my phone, and then I ran back into the house and I started typing on my computer. And then Spirit continued. It said, "The metal door has come out of the earth and has been shaped by humans. The steel has been transformed to appear flat and solid for you. The wooden door came from the forest. The tiles you walk upon came from the clay. The fridge is metal and plastic that has been shaped by man. From one form it is transformed to another." I was extremely surprised at what was happening, and I thought, "Tori, are you still there?" And he just replied, "I've never left you, I've never left them. I'm just not with my body." I said, "Are you up there? Is there a place like heaven?" And he was making me laugh. He goes, no, I'm not up there. He goes, I'm right here. And I thought, wow. I said, okay, I'll go and tell your mum and dad to have fun. Then Spirit continued. They said, the other humans who also understand energy and vibrations have recently assisted you in changing your vibration. This is what this book is about. Each human has the potential to send out good vibes, as you know it, and good feelings. But some humans have not learned that with their physical body, they have the power to change their vibration. That is your purpose. Show them how to activate their power to change their own vibration. So with that, it confirmed the reasons for writing this book, and also including at the back of the book a 12 Steps to Freedom program, which is really just a guide of how you could do some simple and practical things to be the transmitter of positive vibrations and of love. So with that, feeling good is up to you, because you have the power to change your vibration. You are the transmitter of your vibration. I believe that there is no final destination for your soul, and that your soul will eventually leave your body, go into spirit land, and will come back again. We will choose new preferences, new dreams, we'll swap this for that. And I believe that our sole purpose is to love. You have always had the ability to emit positive vibrations, and my purpose is to show you how. So with the 12 Steps to Freedom program, it will lead you through the series of energy shifting exercises so that you can feel the same amount of peace, love and freedom that I've experienced. And it's got practical tips in there for creating the life of your dreams. So the 12 steps are: you will conduct a life review and write a gratitude list. You'll cut any fear energy cords and use bubbles of light to protect your own energy. You will read a self-guided meditation to activate your power and balance and clear your chakras. You will release or vacuum fear from your body and aura. You will release any resentment you may be holding on to. You will write your own positive affirmations and I am statements. You will wipe your slate clean, tune into your heart, and write a list of your preferences and dreams. Once you've done that, you can create your own balanced life chart. You can write a list of what keeps your mind, body and spirit working in harmony. You can create your own generic day plan to incorporate gratitude, happiness, love and fun into every day. You can work out how to bridge the gap from where you are now to where you want to be. So you'll go from this now to a next now, and the way you'll do that is by using your lists, by using your vision board, by doing a meditation, by taking inspired action when the time is necessary. And that is how you bridge the gap from where you are now to your next now. And it's really about just swapping this for that. You know, if you want a new home, you swap the old house for the new one. The new car comes in, the old car goes. If you're not happy with your current partner, you might swap a not so good one for a good one. If you're happy with your current partner, you just express gratitude and say, thank you, I love you. So if you've already got, most of your dreams that have come true, you just give thanks for what you have. But if there's something new that's inside your, a little dream that's inside your heart that you want to see come to life, this process will really help that come into your reality. You will create a time management plan to help your dreams come true. So this is about looking forward. You'll create a plan for 1 year in time, 2 years, 3, 4 and 5 years, and also a plan for your legacy. So what do you want to leave behind for whether it be your own children, children in your family, or children of the planet? What do you want to be remembered for? And once you've created that time management plan, the 1 year plan, you'll actually get a diary and you'll start breaking your dream down into little systematic steps that you can practically achieve. And by you writing all this out in your time management plan and in your diary, it's like you're making a declaration to the universe that this is what you expect. The universe sometimes has got different timing for us, but it's about you really acknowledging what's in your heart when you can practically expect these dreams to come into your reality. Then you'll integrate what you've learned into your life, practice, assess your approach, make adjustments if necessary, practice some more, and keep moving forward until you succeed. And like I said, if you come from a place of your heart, success is your only option. And the last step is the best way to remember something is to teach other people. So walk your talk and teach other people about inspiration, love, and happiness by your example. So right now is your opportunity to create a clean slate. Anything that has been learned can be unlearned. You have free will and you have the ability to choose love, peace, and acceptance of yourself and all others. You are always free to make new choices. Love is who you are. Your presence is the most beautiful gift that you can share with the world. Your soul wants to know that you are simply on your way. You don't need to have all your dreams to have had come true yet. Your soul just wants to know that you're pointing in a direction of love, that you've listened to what your heart is telling you, and that you're on your way. So I'd ask you, what does falling in love with life look like for you? And what does falling in love with life feel like for you? And what comes next? You decide. Thank you.